position is Petra Sagana, taking a few risks going around that corner.
This is a very sharp turn here now as they start to go, but look at this now as BMC lead out, but Sagan is coming. He is using this, he's never been here before, but they know he's here now. Petra Sagan is going clear. He gets his 15th win of the year. He reminds us all of his sponsors. The champion of Slovakia has delivered.
Well, he really is a phenomenal athlete. He stayed calm, he went into that breakaway move, he didn't save everything. That's Greg Van Avermaet, who's come across the line in second place. He's a very disappointed rider. His team did all of the work to get him up there, but you know, when Petra Sagan, Phil, when he can see that finishing line, he's almost unstoppable. There he is, number 51.
And man, not afraid, Paul, even though he knows of his sprinting talent, to attack. We saw him try to go in that group, it didn't work. He recovered with enough to take the sprint out from a man who's on top of his form in Greg Van Avermaet, former champion of Belgium.
Again, obviously listening to the advice of Jens Voigt. If you want to ride well in the USA Pro Challenge, you've got to come to Colorado a couple of weeks beforehand, get yourself acclimatized, train hard around here to get himself to this level. He didn't participate in the Tour of Utah, but he did train hard to get himself this opening victory.
This is a man who's been winning races since February this year. That's his 15th win of the year. He won 2 stages in the Tour of Oman, where he led that race for a couple of days. We've seen him in action in the Tour de France, where he won for the 2nd year the points competition of the green jersey in that race.
Remember, Phil, when he first came to the Amgen Tour of California a couple of years ago, he couldn't speak a word of English. Now he's extremely fluent. He loves coming to race in the United States.
The crowd love him. He got the biggest cheer of everybody when the crowd were introduced to the riders this morning. And now he's back here at the winner after 3 circuits there. He just poured water over his team masseur there. Nothing they can do.
Well, he's going to be very happy. He's going to have to try and defend the overall lead tomorrow, though, Phil, because it's going to be very, very difficult when we go over Independence Pass to begin with and Hoosier Pass down towards the end of the day on what will be a long day in the saddle. 126 miles of racing on the recipe for tomorrow.
That is true, and Sagan is not there. Oh, really, he would never let you down, that man. Last time we saw him do that, he was in the valley at the foot of Mont Ventoux in the Tour de France, where he had no chance of winning that particular day, but that was a victory roll there.
Well, bear in mind, he's had
The crowd love him. Petra Sagan, with his war paint on now, comes on to take the first leader's jersey, the Smashburger Race Leader yellow jersey of this week's battle through the Colorado Mountains, and a sprinter has taken out the first day.
Well, he seems very happy with that. He looks a lot cleaner cut than he did when he had that green goatee beard on the final day on the Champs-Élysées.
Yeah, it looks as though he got mouldy, but he said that was special for the Tour de France to celebrate his green jersey. Now we'll see what he comes up here. He's celebrating his first yellow jersey. He's never been in this particular race here in the USA before. Back on here now, I think, possibly as the stage winner. He's also taking on a Colorado jersey here.
So Petra Sagan opens up his account.
He's pulling on, and he's also been awarded the first Bank Most Courageous Rider Award here for the day, Most Aggressive Rider as well. And now we'll see what else he gets, because he certainly might, well, we're not certain about that because I haven't seen that jersey before, but this is the stage podium now. Maybe they give the stage winner a jersey here, which isn't in our instruction booklet, but he's got yellow for sure, and he's probably going to get green as well. Greg Van Avermaet coming on board. He is second on the stage today. And then for United Healthcare, we'll wait to welcome the 3rd place rider on. But there's Greg Van Avermaet on the opening stage and then the lead for a day in the Tour of Utah.
Very upset. His team set him up to perfection there. He was in the right place at the right time. He just didn't have that final kick like Petra Sagan has.
Time for Kiel Reinen from the USA to come up for United Healthcare to claim 3rd place. A huge result for this man.
Massive result for this man to come up alongside riders like Petra Sagan, and there on the right-hand side, Greg Van Avermaet. So United Healthcare getting themselves a rider onto the podium on day 1.
And a nice congratulations there from Petra Sagana. So there's the result of the first three on the stage. We've got the Smashburger yellow jersey on the shoulders tomorrow of Petra Sagana, and we'll now wait to see the leaders of the other competitions. And I think the next
is going to come back to him. He realises he needs that 5 seconds. That's the most important thing for him this afternoon. This is the next group on the road. A little bit further back, you start to see that Petra Sagana has got a shadow as well, because Petra Sagana, right on his wheel, has got the teammate of the leader of the race at the moment. Matthias Frank tucked right onto his wheel.
Well, the race within the race there, because just behind him is Tommy Danielson. He needs to close that gap up to TJ Van Gordon, but right now, TJ Van Gordon's teammate, Matthias Frank, is laying the foundations of a victory and the next yellow jersey of the USA Pro Challenge.
Well, Lachlan Morton now has been caught as number 33 still leads this bike race as we charge into
That's
town.
Tremendous, right?
Well, he's looking at airfield. There is the Maxis kilometre to go banner.
That's tremendous riding by Petra Sagana. 1 kilometre to go. Matthias Frank, who moved up to the lead as they came up the Hoosier Pass, is now in a position to be the next leader of this race. We're in town almost. Those cones are down the middle because the race came the other way earlier, so they've got to ride on the right side of the cones. But now it's all downhill to the finish. 37 miles an hour, he's gone past that speed trap.
Well, he's going very, very fast. He will take all the risk possible now as he's inside of 500 metres to go, and he's going through a wall of noise through this crowd here in Breckenridge.
What a big moment for Matthias Frank of BMC in Switzerland.
Phil, it's going to be very, very close because Lachlan Morton is not too far behind him.
It's got to be 5 seconds on the line. Don't freewheel, otherwise the rider behind gets yellow. The time starts now. 1, 2, 3. And we can't see where Lachlan Morton has finished, so we don't know. The clock is saying 5 seconds.
I think it's 5 seconds exactly.
In which case, if they are locked on time, it'll be on countdown of today's finish and yesterday's finish, I think.
That should, in fact, if it is exactly 5 seconds, that would probably give the overall lead to Lachlan Morton. He had a much higher finish on the stage yesterday.
Well, we'll wait for that because sometimes when they're equal on time, they give it to the latest finisher who puts the line in first place. So we're
they're going to try and pull this race all back together. There, at the end of that line of Cannondale riders is Petra Sagana. Very, very consistent. He was third yesterday, and now look at the other riders. Petra Sagana was third on the score. Look over the top of that climb of Rabbit Tears Pass. Petra Sagana, well, he's just got to stay calm now and wonder whether or not he's going to get the finish. We go back to a very long line, and it is Cannondale now. They will be motivated by the fact they know Petra Sagana is sprinting like a demon in this race. He was very consistent at the Tour de France, won the green jersey points competition for the second time. He leads the green jersey points competition here at the USA Pro Challenge, and they will do everything they can to pull back Jens Voigt, because Race Radio announcing that Jeremy Fennell of New Zealand has had a flat tire at the back of the race. on the international circuit this year, Petra Sagan, and with that victory that he got just the other day, pushed his total up to...
He crashed yesterday. And now Cannondale coming on. It might be for Candelario, who's their team leader. He's finished up in the sprint down in Aspen on day one.
How about this? Petra Sagan himself has come to the front to do some of the pacemaking on this descent. Got behind him Ben King, and he's really pushing it. And in fact, he's trying to take a little bit of advantage from some slipstreaming from the motorbike as Ben King comes by him.
If he gets in behind him, then you get enormous shelter. David and Goliath there. They break for the line. Candelario on the right. Petra Sagan, is he going to make it to the line again? As he comes up on the line, he gets it on the line. His second victory it is, and a narrow beating there, and of a rider from Novo Nordisk getting across the line in second place.
Well, you know what, Phil, that man makes it look so easy. There's Freddie Rodriguez, he got himself up inside of the top 10, but Petra Sagan was definitely the winner there of stage number 3.
Heard it there when we were looking at Jens Voigt in the start house in the centre of the old village of Vale here. He gets the count.
Great victory so far, and a solid lead in the points competition for Petra Sagana of Slovakia. I don't think we'll really go for this time trial today, because you know I think we were trying to conserve a little bit of energy for tomorrow. But in the past, especially the Tour de France this year, he almost got himself points on one of the individual time trials when he finished just outside the top of the field.
Well, Sagan's not going to push himself. Yesterday he sat up, he wasn't going to handle Bachelor Gulch, a brutal climb in the last few parts of the slopes at 17%. That wasn't Petra Sagan. He's got a very good lead, almost invincible now in the green jersey competition, the points competition. It's the first time we've been
Petra Sagan went through the intermediate times, but with a not too bad a time there. He's not going to rumble the top of the leaderboard, but 14 minutes and 20 seconds. He was only 5 seconds off the time of Chris Froome. Now down in the big sprint, or the all-round race, Petra Sagan leads the points competition there at the Hollow Sports Records. Admittedly, the race has been slightly improved on the road surface. As you can see there, it's been completely retard. Petra Sagan now will be looking around the corner to see if he can spot the 1 kilometre to go back. And I think he's just gone inside that, and the feeling I just noticed that would be the Sky rider, Ian Boswell, so he's actually about to catch the man who started at 1 minute ahead of him out on the road. Sagan, 43rd overall at the start of the race, more than a quarter of a minute down, a quarter of an hour down, and in fact the majority of that time he actually lost yesterday. Sagan, extremely popular rider here in the United States, very dominant in the Ambient Tour of California in the early part of the season, but wanting to come to ride the US Pro Challenge here to usually take the advantage of training and racing at altitude to set himself up for the rest of the season. He's been extremely successful so far with 2 stage victories in the first 3 days of the race.
Well, I half expected Sagan to do a wheelie there, Paul, with his time at 28.19. Well, for him, he always gives it his best. 17th's a good ride.
It's a very good ride by Petra Sagan, and he always manages to put in a fair ride in the individual time. I think he's
a little bit, as he always does. He's in the green jersey down there. He's trying to squeeze through on the rails. He's 4th wheel at the moment. Greg Van Avermaet is in 2nd place as we head down towards the finish.
Well, there's a very good move there. Looks like Saxo Tinkoff Bank have made the move again as they go around this sweeping bend. But it's Team Sky on the front of the main field trying to close it all down. It's Rory Sutherland.
Rory Sutherland it is who's trying. He can sprint when he wants to, as he might try to launch up. As he now goes, sits there, falls back on the left. The shoulders of Freddie Rodriguez. Greg Van Avermaet makes his run. But has Rory Sutherland pulled the coup of a lifetime here? as Rory Southern heads towards the line. Here comes Petra Sagana. Sagan hits the line. Freddie Rodriguez second, and in third place, Greg van Avermaet. Well, it wasn't, it was Metchek again, finishing second to Sagan. He's not going to be happy with that. But Slovenia, who's taken on the Slovakian, and this time had to play second fiddle again.
Well, I don't think we need to ask ourselves, Phil, how many questions about who is going to win the points competition at this year's US Pro Challenge. I think the man who leads it has pretty much walked away with that competition. I think Freddie Rodriguez, a little disappointed there. He's in a very good position coming into the final bend, but got swept out of fraction.
So Sagan wins, but Luka Metchek, 25 years of age, seventh again this week. Sagan there in the yellow jersey, and making it look to us as it has been all day, a routine day for TJ Van Garderen. Let's have a look at the winner.
Brilliant ride by this man. His team, he will have to, I think he needs to buy them a round of drinks tonight, Phil, because they did a phenomenal job. They rode on the front end of the main field for more. Look at the speed of Sagan here in the green jersey. He and Greg van Avermaet were going for it, but once he wants to get that victory, he's such a difficult man to beat. And once again, Van Avermaet tried to come up through the middle, but have that final kick. And as you say, on the far side, Metchek and then Van Avermaet gets third place.
That is Petra Sagan's 17th win of the year. Because the UCI races makes him the #1 winner.
Bear in mind, he invested time and money to get ready for this bike race. He came here 2 weeks before the race started in Aspen, and he knew the roads exceptionally well. He got used to the altitude. I think we better watch out for this man in the latter part of the season, because that's 3 stages out of 6. A completely different scenario on that occasion. It was an individual time trial on the final stage, but he took the yellow jersey away from the man who leads the race this year, TJ Van Garderen. Cannondale have done a phenomenal job here this afternoon. They've kept this pace high, they stopped the breakaway, building up a big advantage. Now they're trying to set it up for what they hope will be a fairy tale finish. The Maxis 1 kilometre to go sign is there.
1 kilometre to go, 0.8 of a mile as the riders wind it up now. It is the team of Metchek who has got to the front, and this is a cheeky move. This is the yellow jersey of the race hitting the front. Now into Aspen, he moves right up alongside Petra Sagan in the sprint. But I think today he's lifting it for Greg van Avermaet.
Making it fast like this creates the factor that's a nice, smooth, sensible race. It stops any confusion. You can see Freddie Rodriguez in the red, white and blue for the United States. He's the national champion.
Sorry about the pictures, but they split up the back of the race. This has as they race towards the line now. Cannondale, Sagan is moving into position. They'll all have noted that.
They've got a great lead out. 2 riders from Cannondale in front of them. Petra Sagana is up to third place. Freddie Rodriguez has got boxed in, but there's a big move now coming right down the middle.
Well, it's going to be a great chance for that. Is this Ryan Anderson going to take it out as he comes up towards the line now? Petra Sagan goes 4 in a row. The crowd gave a tumultuous roar there for him, a roar as he crossed the line. He only just braked to get round.
Sì, faccio un film.